Greetings everyone, welcome to Chess Advance. This game is from the round 7 of US Chess Championship. With the black pieces, we have Fabiano Caruana, 3 times US Chess Champion, facing off against Hans Niemann, and this is going to be an epic game. So without further ado, let's start for this game. Here, Hans starts with e4. We have e5, knight to f3, knight to c6, and bishop to c4. We go into the Italian game. Here, just d6 was played, c3 now, and immediate going for the f5. This is the Italian game, and now just comes d3, queen to f6, castles now, and here just f4, pushing all those pawns completely. And as Hans allowed all of this, here just comes b4. We have knight g to e7, a4 now. Now black is going to be pushing towards the king side while white pushes towards the queen side, all of these pawns, and here we have g5 now, even pushing those pawns all the way, and it looks very, very scary. Here b5 comes, and now you have to move the knight. Knight to d8 was played by Fabi. Here just d4, pushing through in the center because the king is still in the center, and here you're gonna have to be really, really careful. Here g4 was played, now pushing the knight back. Knight to e1 was played, and in this position the move that you want to play is knight to f7, and it's not that easy to spot because the thing is that knight to d3 and then h5 comes, and now after knight to d2 now you play this bishop to g7, f3, e caps on d4, and after this knight to b3, just allowing the capture of another pawn. Call it a gambit pawn, doesn't matter. Here just t caps on c3, and after this knight caps on f4. Now the position will go on with most likely a move like knight to e5, just going for that central square, and also this that comes with the tempo towards the bishop, and bishop will need to move, and your position will be absolutely marvelous. You're gonna go on to an attack, and it's gonna be very difficult to stop this one. So here after knight to e1, none of this was played. Knight to h7 was not played, but immediate h5 comes. This is the second best move recommended by the engine, and here just knight to a3. Now we have knight to e6, p6 now, and even c6. Not even bothered about this capture here, but here just bishop to a2, knight to g5 now, just pushing all those pieces forward, and here knight to d3. I mean, there is a prize for everyone who wins the round from round 6 to round 11. I mean, who wins the most games from there. But the thing is that it would just get so competitive. It's just crazy because they are playing like fire. Absolutely. I mean, Fabi is going all out here. Hey, knight to g6 was played by Fabi. Now just comes this knight to c4 and even bishop to e6. And now there's so much trouble in this position that Hans is in. I mean, look at all those pawns. It just reminds me of a game that Hikaru played against I believe it was Wesley, where he had castle towards the king side, and he had like 6 pieces just stranded like this, and just pawn pushed all over. That was the King's Indian, by the way, but still, I mean, the game looked very resembles all of this, and it was very difficult to stop that as well. And it was just that even in that position, I think Wesley just pushed towards the queen side, but he could not get any counterplay, and then he was stuck defending. Then he blundered, and Hikaru was able to win this game. But here in this position, Fabi has to find the right move, and the right move in this position is actually b caps on a7 for Hans to be able to survive here. And after rook captures, you play knight to b6, bishop to e7, and just d5. That's the idea. And after bishop to d8, rook to e1, just defending the knight, and now you play this c captures on d5. And after this, bishop caps on b6, rook captures, the game goes on. It's incredibly dangerous, because the thing is that the incredible danger comes from the fact that, you know, f3 is also there, h4 is also there, h3 is also there, and knight is covering both of those squares. Bishop is already eyeing this. You have the rook covering the entire file, and the thing is that there is not even a single check that white can give in this position. That's the problem here. But after bishop to e6, we have bishop to a3, and now just comes this bishop caps on c4, bishop captures f3 now, and f3 is a beautiful move that was found by Fabi on the board. I mean, once he was able to find this, Hans was in shock, and now Fabi is on the complete driver's seat. Here g3 was played by Hans, but now comes the best move in this position, that is h4. I'm sure all of you were able to find this move. Here queen to c2 was played, trying to defend against everything, but the thing is that the move that you want to play with the black pieces in this position is e caps on d4, and after b caps on a7, now you play this h caps on g3, and everything is hanging here. F captures if you decide to go for it, then just comes d caps on c3, the gambit variation line, and after e5, now you play this knight caps on e5, and after knight captures, d captures, king to h1. Yes, the king seems loose in the center of the board with the bishop pair already eyeing all of this, but look at these pawn chain. Look at what the rook can do after a couple of moves, even just pushing the pawn, getting the rook all the way here, then the attack would be devastating. And this is what, you know, the game has been, that Fabi is able to create this masterpiece, and it's going to be very difficult to come out of this for Hans. Definitely he's in a lot of bind here. It's looking very dangerous for him. If he's going to survive or not, it's very difficult to say. But after queen to c2, here I mean, it's just a very difficult position to have nonetheless, and it's going to be very difficult to try and be able to, just have a draw against Fabi in this, and it's just very, very dangerous. Just a caps on b6 was played, but now just comes rook a to e1 and rook to d8, d5 now, opening up the center, trying to at least put rook to d7, d caps on c6, we have b captures, now just comes bishop to c1, but bishop to c1 is a complete blunder, and here you can take advantage of this. So I'm going to ask you to pause the video and try and find out the best move in this position, which beats Hans Niemann on the spot. So have at it. So congratulations to everyone who's able to find this move. The move is knight to h3 check, and here if you go for king to h1, the only move, rook d to h7, and now you're not surviving. Bishop to e3 if you try to go for, then just comes h captures on g3, f captures, and after f2, even yes, you can go for that. Rook caps on f2, knight captures, queen captures, and here just comes rook captures, sacrificing those two of the rooks. Queen captures, rook captures, and after king captures, you can see that yes, you have like 3 pieces for the queen and knight, but the thing is that I have so many pawns and another piece that is sitting here that you're just not surviving this. It's +5 position for me. It's completely over. But after bishop to c1, here Fabi was not able to find the knight to h3 idea. I'm sure he would have looked at, but he didn't have enough time to be able to calculate all of these things. So he played this rook d to h7. Even this wins. Bishop caps on g5 was played, but now just comes queen captures, queen to b3, h caps on g3, and here queen caps on b6 was played. F caps on g3 was completely winning. Completely, maybe you can try to hold this, because here after rook caps on h2, now you just go for bishop to h7, and here king to e7, but if you go for queen to e6 check, you're just getting mated a lot faster. King to d8, queen to e8 check, king to c7, you're going to have to sack the queen even, and after king captures, now you go for bishop to e6, king goes forward, and even knight to c5. You can try to play all of these moves, but the thing is that you're just getting mated on the spot. Doesn't work. So here queen caps on b6 was played by Hans, but now just comes queen to h4, and there is not much you can do. Queen to b8 check was played, but after king to e7, it was on this move, on just move 28. Yes, you heard me right. On just move 28, that Hans Niemann resigned the game, and Fabi got this spectacular victory in just 28 moves. Shows how powerful really Fabi is, and the way he's playing, I mean, he's just bound to get to 2800, and that's going to happen really, really soon. So yeah, thank you all for watching. I'll be coming back with some of these amazing games, so stay tuned to the channel, stay updated, and I'll be seeing you guys very, very soon. Thank you very, very much for watching.